Want to participate? Fill out a form. The link is in the description below.
Just some kids who love to read. Our minds expand with every page we feed. We're discussing our books, getting lost in the plot. We're talking about heroes, villains, and what they have got. We're learning new words, our imagination's on fire. Books are a fuel taking us higher and higher. Yeah.
Classic, fiction, non-fiction biography, adventure, mystery, so much to explore. Books bring us together and we never get bored. We're just some bookworm kids, it's true, but we don't turn into worms. That's not what books do.
We love to read before we hit the sack, and dreams of fighting dragons, it's a fact. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry. Books give us wings so that we can fly. We read about wizards, witches, and spells, and sometimes we pretend to have magic as well. Yeah. We are just some kids who love to read. Our minds expand with every page.
Welcome to Between the Pages. Today we're joined by the incredibly talented and vibrant 15-year-old Soha. She's back on our channel and this time she's here with yet another captivating book to share with us. None other than Dan Brown's literary masterpiece, The Da Vinci Code. Let's welcome Soha. Welcome back to the podcast, Soha. It's nice to have you here again. For our listeners who might not have seen your previous episode, would you like to reintroduce yourself?
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Soha and I'm 15. I like painting, making sculptures, and of course, reading books. Today I'm here with the Da Vinci Code.
Would you like to tell us more about the book?
Sure. The Da Vinci Code is written by Dan Brown. It follows the protagonist, Robert Langdon, and it's like a mystery book.
I see. So, what inspired you to pick up the book?
Okay, so I personally asked my school librarian for some recommendations, and she suggested that since you like mystery books, you should try reading Dan Brown's books.
So, did you have any certain expectations before reading the book?
I had never really heard of Dan Brown before, so this was my first time reading his book. I actually had really low expectations because I was thinking what's gonna be so great about a book about a painter. So
I see. So, what aspects of the book did you find intriguing?
the book is a good mix between the present and the past. So the book takes place in 2017-ish, and it is almost about the life of Leonardo da Vinci, the famous painter. So it's a good mix and it has a lot of puzzles, which is very nice.
That's interesting. So, as you said, the book is known for its intricate puzzles and codes. Did you attempt to solve any, or did you wait for the mystery to unfold?
Right. So the book actually, it was like, you know how you write your exam papers? They give you the questions and then they give you the answer. So they asked the question, and I remember I had taken up a notebook and I still have it. It has like pages of the puzzles that I tried to solve. And of course, I'm not a cryptologist, so it took me a long while to solve them. So it was just like trial and error. So
That's interesting.
yeah.
So, how would you describe the main characters from the book?
So the main characters of the book are Robert Langdon and of course Sophie. Should I describe them individually?
Yeah.
Okay. So Robert Langdon, I feel he's a very soft. He's very well spoken. And I feel like he's a great feminist. Like I really liked how he carried himself throughout. And he's a very knowledgeable person. Like I'm impressed at how well he processes the information and solves again the puzzles. And Sophie is like the strong female protagonist. I really liked how she wasn't the primary love interest, like most books are. Usually the men are doing all the work and the women are just there to
Yeah.
be the love interest. So they did end up having a relationship, but at the end of the book. So that's what I liked.
I see. So, were there any specific quotes, scenes, or moments from the book that you really liked?
Yeah, there was this one scene where they had to solve, there was this box, and you have to write a 5 letter code, like a passcode. And it is actually real, like that box actually exists.
Wow.
So what they used to do is they used to write the codes, they used to design the box as such. And if you do not give the right code on the first attempt, there used to be acid inside the box. So the acid used to fall on the letter or the message.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I like that scene a lot.
Do you remember what the word was?
That would be a spoiler. So
I feel like it was apple because, like, was it apple?
it was apple. So because it was on Newton. So Newton,
Uh-huh.
apple.
Okay.
So Robert was really angry at himself for not thinking about it before. But can we blame him? Like, who would have thought like such a,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was.
Okay. So, were there any parts of the book where you felt confused or had questions while reading?
Pretty much the whole book, because again, this is my first time reading such a book, and I won't say it has hard words per se, but even to understand what is going on, like the first time I read this book, I've read this book 3 times. So the first time I read this book, I was confused if Dan Brown is talking about a person or a thing, because even the names are so confusing. So yeah, but the most confusing scene I think would be the Newton scene. The
Uh-huh.
yeah
So, the book was made into a oh my
movie.
god. Sorry. The book was made into a movie starring Tom Hanks. If you've seen the film adaptation, how does it compare to the book and which do you prefer?
I haven't seen the movie, but I did have a chance to watch the movie, but I did not, because I did not want to be disappointed. But from what I've heard, I think they did a pretty good job of.
Yeah, my
Doing-
dad said that
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
Dan Brown's writing style is known for its suspense and fast-paced narratives. So, did you find the book's pacing engaging, or did it overwhelm you at times?
So, like you said, it is a very fast-paced book, and that's what I really like nowadays. So before, I used to read the mystery books, like even Agatha Christie. It's very slow-paced, like it's very slow-paced, and it's just I don't like slow-paced books. So this was like a new change, and this is the thing. Like I finished this book in what, 5 to 6 hours.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So it's like I was really into it, because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I'm reading it. It's a slow-paced book. I'll remember what is going on. But this is such a fast book. Like the moment you don't read for some time, you're gonna forget what has happened.
Oh, that's
So I like such books.
That's interesting. So, if you had the chance to meet Dan Brown, what would you ask him or say to him?
So I would actually like to thank Dan Brown, because of these books, I found out about this new area or this new field of careers. So the moment I started reading this, I wanted to be a symbologist like Robert Langdon. But now I want to be a museum curator, which is pretty funny considering the first scene of this book. But he gave me an idea as to what I want to do in my future, indirectly or directly. But yeah.
I see. So, who was the character you could relate the most to?
Mm.
Or was there a character?
No, because they are so smart and mature. But of course, I do aim to be like them. Like, I aim to be, ruthless and smart like Sophie, and I aim to be kind and smart like Robert. So, yeah.
Ah. So, what age group would you recommend this book to?
Ah, that's a good question. So, I would say 14 to any ages.
But why so?
Because when you're 14, you start to understand the words, you start to acknowledge the artists, you start to, appreciate them. And the other age groups, I've heard a lot of people liking Dan Brown. I think my father is a very huge fan of Dan Brown. So,
I see. So, if you were any character from the book, I mean, who would you choose, and what would you have done differently?
Mm, Again, I'm stuck between Sophie and Langdon, but I would choose Langdon. And differently is he trusts people too easily. Like he was betrayed in the book. I won't reveal the character, but he was betrayed in the book. So maybe not trust people.
As much.
Yeah.
Oh. So, what was your biggest takeaway from the book?
Right. So I would say that I read this book a long back, but I still remember this book's whole narrative so well. So I would say that what I would want to learn from this book is how to have such a great character that people remember you even after you're gone. So I want to be remembered like Robert.
Oh my god, did he pass away in that book?
No, he did not. But it's like I still remembered Robert Langdon. I read this book like 2 years ago, but I still remember it so well.
That's
So
so usually in the podcast, we ask the guests to choose 5 questions from a deck of cards. But this time, since you're here with a mystery novel and it has a lot of puzzles and codes, I have like around 4 riddles for you. So yeah,
I pretty much suck at these because like every time I try to guess the things in the book, I just used to get so confused. I used to be like, what is going on?
I'm
But-
sure you'll be able to get these. I guess they're pretty simple.
Okay, let's hope so.
So the first one is, I'm a hidden symbol deep within the pages. In the Da Vinci Code, I've baffled many sages. With the Fibonacci sequence, I'm intertwined. What am I that Robert Langdon tried to find?
Didn't he? Oh, he tried to find Mary Magdalene or like the cup, so the Holy Grail, I think.
You're correct.
Yeah.
That's right. So the second one is, within a French museum, I'm shrouded in mystery. An artwork holds the key to ancient history.
Mona Lisa. That's Mona Lisa. Okay.
Okay, you're right. So the third one is, cryptex, a puzzle with letters concealed. To unlock its secrets, wit is revealed. Da Vinci's hand, a genius of old. In what hidden language is the truth unfold?
Latin?
Nah. You want to have another guess?
Sure. I'm not sure. Italian?
I'll repeat it.
Sure.
Cryptex, a puzzle with letters concealed. To unlock its secrets, wit is revealed. Da Vinci's hand, a genius of old. In what hidden language is the truth unfold?
Hebrew?
It's the Fibonacci sequence.
Interesting.
Okay. This one's quite easy, the last one. Symbols, paintings, woven threads, hidden meanings veiled in red. Leonardo's brush, a tale untold. Which city's heart does the grail unfold?
Florence.
No.
Oh. Wait, what? Paris. Paris. Right. Yeah. Paris.
I guess that's pretty interesting. You got 3 out of 4 correct.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got 3 out of 4 correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we're heading towards the end of the podcast, I'm sure you know the ritual.
Yep.
Yeah. So for the listeners who don't know the ritual, it's where a guest writes a question for the next guest to answer. So yeah. The question is from Diara. Would you like to read a comic book or a normal book?
I've read a lot of normal books, so I would like to try out a comic book.
I see. Your turn to write a question again.
Should I write it down? Like,
Yeah, I mean, if you have a question right now, you can write it.
okay.
Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you so
today.
much.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you taking your time and talking books with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Time to close the book, but don't worry, the stories really never end. Until our next adventure together, remember to keep your imaginations fueled, your laughter contagious, and your bookmarks handy. Until next time, it's me, Anna Lilani, closing the BTP book for this week. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.